about the house where we grew up. Sajida is here. She would have been in a better position to talk about the story, so we can participate. I was going through a small diary that Sajida and Jomu, my cousin, got together. Dhopar Khata, the laundryman's diary. 61 lekha, it was lists down in 61 by my Khalu, who first, when my grandfather made that house, built that house in 1950, it was rented out to the American embassy. They used it as the rest house, and they paid the highest rent, as my cousin Iftikhar Karim says. We got the highest rent in Dhaka at that time, and in 4 years' time, they could, my grandfather, Nana Bhaiya, could pay back the loan. And I'm talking about this laundry book, the Dhopar Khata, which is documented by my Khalu, and my Khala, my aunt and my uncle, where they're writing 2 tea cozies, 2 hankies. They are giving it to wash to the Dhopar. So my uncle and my aunt came in to take care of my widowed grandfather, and but when the house was free of paying off the mortgage, the loan, then it became a place where my parents took refuge after my father gave up his job in the army, and my father and my mother came to live in that house. And from the early 60s, it was a turnaround. My aunt, who had written the laundry list, who had come as a caregiver to my grandfather, had now become a widow and had come back to the house, Kabir House. And my aunt, younger aunt, also came here in 71 when she fled from Khulna. My uncle, who was a corporate person, he built Renata. They came from Banani to Kabir House when the war was raging high. So in the 60s and 70s, it was a refuge for all the family members for various reasons, Kabir House. And we saw this house, which Sajida will tell you, that one of her friends said that in those days, civil engineers used to design the houses, and they were greatly influenced by the Art Deco style. So, Sajida, would you like to add in a few words?
So, when you Google Art Deco styles of that time, you see houses that very much look like the house we grew up in, I understand that was kind of the pre-architect design days for house building, and I was hoping that the architects who took an interest in this preservation of history would actually try to document this time that this house represents and other houses at that time represent, where there was no self-conscious design. So where did it come from? Where did the influences come from? The style is not unique to Dhaka. It's across the subcontinent, but it's very quirky. There are these round, and my grandfather kind of continued that quirkiness in his choice of furniture. So we have tables in that house of every possible shape. They're tall boys, they're short boys, they're squat boys, they're octagonal, they're round, they're square, they're rectangular. There are tables all across the house that have these weird shapes. So I think it's sort of a study in shapes, and as well as this history and memories it has of us. I'd like to end by saying that Khalid is my contemporary. He was my cousin. We lived in a joint family.